So a client recently submitted their financial proof for a student visa and it got rejected. And the reason it got rejected is because it didn't have the account holder name displayed correctly and the dates in the proper format. Let's make sure your financial proof gets approved the first time. If you need to prove financial stability and your financial documents are in a different language, you're going to have to get them translated and certified. And the translation must be clear, complete, and certified. Hi, I'm Jason from TaikaTranslations, and we have helped thousands of people get their financial proof submitted for documents like student visas, legal immigration, work permits, residence permits. And today I'm going to show you some very specific things that you need to know to make sure that your document does not get rejected. In this video, I'm going to show you what your financial proof needs to include, what things you can avoid, and how to submit it with confidence. Because Lord knows, when you're working through a bureaucratic process, there is so much stress in just the amount of steps that you have to take to get it approved. You don't need this extra barrier. All right, so we're going to pull up on the screen real quick a properly translated bank statement. So on the screen, you can see a sample of the translation with its certification. Now, note how the account name, the balance, the transaction history, and documents dates are all clear, and the certification is included. And guys, back to the dates format. In other countries around the world, they put the dates in different formats. And I know this sounds tiny, minuscule, small, like a small detail, but it's very, very important because so many times I've seen people translate their documents or have a friend just translate their document and submit it to the receiving authority just to have it rejected because the dates looked like they were from like 6 years ago or in a completely different format that the receiver didn't understand and was not willing to sign their name at the bottom of, verifying, stating that they have verified these documents and they're accurate and true and up to date. So just be careful with this very important detail. If you omit any transaction details or balances or explanations of what those transactions are, if you don't have the correct formatting that matches the original document, we call it in the translation language source and target document. Source is the one you have. Target document is the one you need for submitting to whatever agency you're applying to. So if there are any missing certification pages, or if you leave out the header or footnotes to any of these documents, you're going to have trouble when you go to submit that document, because what the reviewer wants to see is a mirror image, basically, of what you have in your source documentation. If it's in the source document, it needs to be clearly manifested as to what it says and what it means and what format it should be in for the person in the receiving office, whether that's in the United States or other entities around the world, to approve that financial proof for your application. All right, so what is required? I've alluded to it in the what to avoid section. However, I just want to be crystal clear as to what you're going to need as you go to submit your documents to the approving authority. What you're going to need is the word-for-word translation of all balances, dates, and transactions, and headers and footers, and anything else that's on the document. Again, if it's in the original, it has to be in the target. Then you're going to need a certification of this document signed by a translator or a certifying authority. You're going to need a copy of the original document included with your submission package, and you need to make sure that it's done by a neutral or professional translator. In the translation industry, there are many specialties in translation that includes legal, marketing, pharmaceuticals, scientific, engineering, and financial. And if you're getting any documentation translated in any specific industry, you need to make sure that you have the right translator for that industry. And so there are financial translators who translate financial documents and make sure that the terminology is correct and accurate. Whether you're submitting a tax return or whether you're submitting the P&L for a company, the financial documents need to be done by a neutral third party professional. So how can Taika help? You can go to TaikaTranslations.com and upload your document there, or send an email to projects@TaikaTranslations.com, and we can help you get the process started. We assign a certified financial translator. We ensure formatting, accuracy, comprehensive translation of the document in the target language, and we deliver that to you in a PDF format that's ready to submit to the receiving authority. The turnaround time on a financial document is typically 1 to 2 days. So, do you need to submit financial proof for your visa? Let us take care of the translation. Certified, accurate, and done